Hello everyone, and welcome to my General Hospital Today channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before we begin, please hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. As Dante rang the doorbell, someone was watching Anna's front door. Anna let him in and asked about his progress on the shoot. He said he hadn't been able to rule anything out yet. Anna revealed that she had some new information for him that was reliable but might be useful. She told him about Pikeman and Valentine's long-ago friendship. She also mentioned how the new WSB director had fired everyone associated with her or Robert. Anna also told Dante about the Pikeman-branded folder in the possession of the WSB agent who had debriefed her. Dante wondered if it was just a coincidence, but she was skeptical. She went on to say that the WSB had always taken chances because they paid off. Dante promised to check with his PCPD contacts to see if he could help her connect everything. He promised to keep her informed and thanked her for her cooperation. Anna let him out, and the person watching her house fled. Sam arrived at Maxie's with a bottle of wine and some ice cream. Maxie was talking about how excited she was to see Sam when she heard Georgie and James fighting in their bedroom. Maxie called them into the living room, where they continued to argue. Maxie directed Georgie to her bedroom and then followed her there. While Maxie was gone, Sam fulfilled James' request for ice cream. When Maxie returned, she announced that Georgie would be spending the night in Maxie's room. James thanked Maxie and dashed to his room. Maxie expressed her desire to relocate because the kids were driving her insane. She bemoaned the fact that she was always outbid. Sam had an idea, and she suggested that Maxie move into the home of Dante and Lulu. Maxie sadly wondered if Dante would be okay with that, and Sam believed that if he rented it to anyone, it would be Maxie. A short time later, James was fast asleep on Maxie's lap, and Sam informed her that Dante would be there shortly to pick her up. Maxie inquired about Sam's sisters, and Sam expressed pride in both Molly and Christina. When Marshall got home, Portia excitedly told him about Trina's return. She dashed upstairs to find Trina, but she returned with a note from Trina stating that Trina had to leave but would return soon. Marshall told Portia that he thought he should leave, as he had planned to do before Curtis was shot. Portia was opposed to the idea because she still required him. He promised to do anything for his family, but he needed to give them some space. Portia admitted that she'd blamed herself for Curtis's death, as he'd only come to make amends with her. Marshall reassured her that she was not to blame for the stray bullet. She countered that years of lying had brought her to that point, but he urged her to proceed. He reminded her that Curtis would require her assistance and assured her that everything would be fine. Christina, who was wearing a mask, was at Alexis watching a murder documentary. Alexis arrived home, and both of them jumped at the sight of the other. Christina explained that she was there because her internet connection had gone down and she needed to finish her show. She noticed Alexis had been out late, and she hoped her mother had had a good time. Alexis responded that she had as she made her way upstairs. Alexis returned in her pajamas a few minutes later, revealing that she'd gone axe throwing with a friend. She remarked on how simple yet satisfying it had been. Alexis recognized a stack of financial and business books Sam had given Christina. Christina remarked on the fact that Sam had never given her anything like that before. Alexis realized it was because Sam was attempting to make amends for hurting Christina's feelings. Christina admitted that Sam was correct about her strong points. She appreciated the gift and thought the books had already helped her. She talked about how important the project was to her, and she insisted on finishing it. Trina walked into the hospital and saw Finn. Curtis was leaving for rehab the next day, so she needed to see him that night. Curtis had refused to see her, but she wondered what Finn would say if he and Violet were in the same situation. Curtis was sleeping in his hospital room when he was startled awake by a dream about the shooting. He sighed as he uncovered his legs. Elizabeth came in and informed him that he was in good enough shape to go to the rehab facility the next day. Never better, he remarked ironically. She warned him that it would be difficult, but he was strong and would adapt to his circumstances. Elizabeth ran into Trina in the hall a few minutes later and wondered if there was anything she could do to help Trina. Trina responded that Finn was working on a project for her. Her phone abruptly rang and she smiled. Curtis assumed Finn's visit was not for medical reasons when he entered his room. Finn stated that he wished he could cure Curtis, but he could do something to help. Trina walked in after he opened the door. Curtis was annoyed by the ambush, so Finn left. Curtis didn't want Trina there, but she needed to see him to apologize before he went to rehab. After discovering Curtis kissing Jordan, Trina regretted taking sides. She hoped that things would work out between her parents, but he would always be her father. He confessed to pushing her away when he shouldn't have. She recalled his first words after awakening from surgery, "I need my daughter." She hugged him and promised that she was staying and would not leave. Deanna answered the phone at the nurse's station. She summoned Finn and informed him that the call was about his patient. Finn answered the phone and told the caller to book an operating room and he'd be right there. He dashed out the door as Elizabeth returned. When Carly and Olivia arrived at the High Cider, Carly remarked that the bar reminded her of Jake's. Olivia was unimpressed, and she was horrified when she touched something sticky. Carly ordered their drinks while she dashed off to wash her hands. When Ned approached Carly and asked if one of the drinks was for him, she was taken aback. She said she was waiting for her friend, and he said he could be a very good friend. He thought they should go somewhere quieter to talk, but Olivia's return interrupted him. Olivia approached Carly and inquired if Ned was trying to hit on her. "It's getting lonely over here." Ned called out to Carly and started singing to her. Carly offered to find out what Ned was looking for and get back to Olivia. Carly returned to Ned, and they discussed the Quartermains. He admitted he didn't like Olivia, and Carly stomped on his foot, claiming to have seen a roach. She believed he needed to help his family understand who he was in order for them to learn to accept him. He doubted that they would accept it. She assured him that she knew someone who had been through a similar ordeal, and that their family had grown to love him. A drunk and handsy Mason approached a lonely and hot Olivia across the bar. She demanded that he remove his hands from her, or she would make him regret it. "I'd like to be sorry with you," he slurred, and she pushed him away from her. Ned rushed over to pull Mason away from Olivia. Mason was knocked to the ground by his punch. Mason stood up and pushed Ned up against the bar. They fought until Mason punched Ned, knocking him unconscious to the ground. Mason declared Olivia to be the victim. Meanwhile, the bartender slid a bottle down the bar to Carly, who hit Mason over the head and knocked him out. Olivia jolted Ned awake and inquired, "Did I get him?" Cody Bell threw his water bottle and knocked over a chair in the PCPD interrogation room, according to the General Hospital's spoilers for Thursday, August 17. Cody threw papers and refused to calm down because Sasha Gilmore was in danger. Cody would be arrested if he didn't cool it, according to Max Scorpio, but Dante Falconeri urged Mac to leave and let him handle it. When Dante returned, Cody's behavior became increasingly bizarre, and he suspected Cody was trying to get committed to Ferncliff so he would come to Sasha Gilmore's rescue. Although Cody denied it, Dante warned him that the restraining order was no laughing matter and that there would be consequences if he did not comply. Cody was eventually let go, but Dante seemed concerned about how reckless he was. Christina Corinthos Davis ran into TJ Ashford at the hospital and mentioned that she was meeting Terry Randolph to ask if she'd serve on the board of directors of her new foundation. Christina spoke with TJ again after a productive meeting and seemed optimistic about Terry accepting the role. TJ assumed the meeting was important enough to warrant missing the sushi party, so Christina was perplexed and wondered what he was on about. Molly Lansing Davis welcomed Jordan Ashford, Alexis Davis, and Sam McCall to her apartment before the sushi takeout arrived. Molly had some family news to deliver and said she'd have to do so alone because TJ was on call. Molly then provided updates on their surrogate interviews and how they chose Andre Gate, who was ready to get pregnant right away. Sam, Alexis and Jordan all seemed to think that everything was moving too quickly, but Molly was certain that they were ready to be parents. Molly approached Sam alone after sushi and some discussion about the surrogacy details and asked her to be the baby's godmother. Sam liked the idea, but she made it clear that the pregnancy had to come first. Christina eventually arrived to confront Molly about the party she hadn't been invited to, and she pushed Sam to let them talk alone. Alexis and Jordan, on the other hand, acknowledged how quickly Molly and TJ were moving on this baby plan, but they were supportive. Jordan inquired as to why Christina wasn't at the party, so Alexis pretended to be busy and suggested Molly had filled her in earlier. Alexis agreed despite looking as if she didn't believe Jordan when he said it was wonderful that Christina and Molly were so close. Gregory Chase babysat Violet Finn, while Hamilton Finn and Elizabeth Baldwin grew closer on a luau date night. Gregory's fingers froze up while making bracelets with Violet, which caused some problems. Violet dashed into the other room to retrieve something, and Gregory dropped some beads. Violet was surprised to find Gregory on the floor after he tripped and fell. Violet wondered if they should call Finn, but Gregory assured her that he was fine and that there was no need to bother her father. Violet, on the other hand, didn't think it was such a good idea to keep making bracelets after she noticed Gregory's fingers were acting strangely. When Finn returned home, he noticed Violet was having trouble sleeping. Violet admitted it was because Grandpa's fall scared her. Finn picked up some beads that Gregory had dropped in the living room, but Gregory pretended to be tired and clumsy. When a skeptical Finn mentioned Gregory's fall, Gregory hinted about something awful as he prepared to reveal his ALS diagnosis. Brooklyn Quartermain kept encouraging Tracy Quartermain to drink Mai Tais at the Metro Court pool, and she eventually got her drunk enough to confess why she was so obsessed with her deception plot. Tracy became emotional about how much she missed Luke Spencer and suggested that she focus on something else. Brooklyn decided it was time to hustle Tracy home after she became loud and started making a scene. Mac also attended the luau with Felicia Scorpio, where she admitted she wanted to do more than just be a grandmother. Felicia wanted to help out at the PCPD, but Mac suggested she find a way to help the community through GH instead. According to General Hospital spoilers, Felicia will be inspired by a new project soon, so stay tuned in to the ABC soap. Thanks for watching. If you like this video, so please don't forget to subscribe my channel and don't miss any update.